choose your business model wisely. This has dashed the hopes of many business owners where they don't realize that what they're doing has a total limit to scale. Cash allows you to hire really smart people, and smart people bring smart ideas, and that saves you and makes you more cash. Cash gets you the right training, right? So creating money gets you the right training for you and your staff. And lastly, systems and technology to give you more time. Have patience and stay focused. If you have the desire in you, the universe has every intention for you to fulfill that. The thing that matters the most is be talking to the right person. Dear future self-made millionaire, here are 10 things I wish I knew when starting my business, which is coming up 20 years ago. Number 1, do not take advice from someone who is not where you want to be. So many times I've hired people, consultants, staff, and also just had friends as well who've given me advice, and they do not have the results in their life that I would want to imitate, or even the results in their business. There are many backseat drivers who want to give you advice, and if they haven't actually got the scars to prove that they've been able to be in the battle of building a business, just thank them for their time and find someone who has got the information and can prove they've actually done it. There is a big difference from theory to actual application, and there's a massive difference to from someone being an employee in someone else's company and not even to worry about the truth of building a business versus the person who's actually doing it. It's a really big lesson. Just examine your mentors, really, because you become them. You become them. Number 2, people will lie on job interviews. And I wish I knew this. I know that I did, I guess. I added how positive and happy I was to be having a job and how I work hard. I want you to know is behavior is the highest form of communication. When someone turns up for a job interview, it is their intent to get the job. They will tell you everything you want to hear. So what I've found is 2 ways to get around this. One is to understand behavior is the highest form of communication. Have them on a trial. Number 2, also make sure that you understand you can use things like Upwork, where you can actually get ratings from other past employers and ring references. The last thing is they must be a culture fit. So, people will lie on job interviews about who they are, but if they actually hang out with the team and your team gets engaged, they're much more likely that they let their guard down with your team. So doing a group interview or bringing them in for a day to see what the team thinks about them, because a lot of times they'll be true and open and honest more with the team, who they do not think as someone they need to impress. Number 3, choose your business model wisely. This has dashed the hopes of many business owners where they don't realize that what they're doing has a total limit to scale. Choose your business model wisely. When I started out right at the beginning of my business career, I actually started with leverage. I was in water filter businesses and then solar panels. And then I got this whole idea of one-on-one consulting and one-on-one coaching. And then that turned into an agency, which again took not my time, but my staff's time. And there's such a limit to that. And so the limit was 40 hours a week or 40 hours a week times how many staff I had. And then the challenge was in the agency, if I wanted to sell more, sure, go get more staff. However, those staff might not be good as the first staff. And then you had to have a whole other layer of management. So choose your model wisely. I made the decision to switch completely to education and then to media, which allows infinite scale. Instead of charging the high price of the one-on-one, I can charge a much lower price, but there's none of my time. Once I've done the video, it goes up and now into media as well. So choose your model wisely. At the beginning, you probably got to do anything you can to make sure that you keep the lights on, right? Your first couple $100,000 in your business, you might need to do one-on-one, and that's okay, but always have in your head the model that you're going for, because if it takes your time, even if it's one-to-many in a webinar or a group setting, there's going to be a limit to that, okay? Number 4, cash solves most things in your business. So one of the things that hurt me at the beginning was I had problems where I didn't have the cash to solve it. And so I went on all of these, they'd probably be podcasts or YouTubes now, but back then I went to these tele calls and brought cassettes makes me feel so old when I say this, but I bought cassettes and they would have these big visions of all of these things and all these ideas. However, the truth is that I didn't have the cash to do any of these dreams of changing the world. And I needed to realize, number one, if I want to get more sales, I need the cash to go spend on advertising to get more sales. And so cash solves your problem of being able to reach more people. It doesn't matter to me, how many followers someone else has. I can just pay to get in front of the right people. Number two, cash allows you to hire really smart people, and smart people bring smart ideas, and that saves you and makes you more cash. Cash gets you the right training, right? So creating money gets you the right training for you and your staff. And lastly, systems and technology to give you more time. So have a focus on cash. If you don't know what to focus on in your business, focus on making more profit, because cash is going to solve the other problems. It's the first thing to solve. Number 5, there is no ending. There is no ending. If you choose to be an entrepreneur, this is a life's mission. This is your life's. This is going to be who you are. You make a lot of money. When you sell it, which I thought would be the ending, you're left with a void, and that void can only be filled by going on another entrepreneurial journey. And so there is no ending. You must play an infinite game, to borrow a phrase from Simon Sinek. It's an infinite game, is that you must play a game that's not going to end. You're playing the game of entrepreneurship. You're going to pick up a bunch of cash on the way, but your job is to create profitable enterprises that work without you. That's what an entrepreneur is here to do. And you're going to go on this journey. And the work is the work, you're there to be entrepreneur, to be business owner, and there is no ending. It's a fun game. If you do it well, you get paid millions of dollars. If you do it averagely, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if you do it poorly, go get a job. It's a game that you need to learn how to play, but there is no ending to it. It's a lifelong passion. Number 6, I'm still learning this one. Have patience and stay focused. If you have the desire in you, the universe has every intention for you to fulfill that. If you have that desire, then you're like an apple tree that must apple. Like if you have the desire for that business or for that money or for that career, then you have the ability to grow into that. The desire is not, given to you by mistake. It's, you have the desire. So that means there's an intention there to fulfill on that. So just have patience. Realize that even though you want it, you're not ready to receive it straight away, right? That's the joy of becoming something new, is you want it, you focus on it, you become it internally, you take the action gives you the skills and capabilities to then be able to take a better action, more skills, more capabilities, and you finally get to receive it, and then you go on to the next thing. Number 7, do the right things. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. There are so many business opportunities, and this is true for me right now, that I can do, but should I do them? I don't know. And you never really know. But you must do the right thing, is that you don't have an unlimited space for decision making. And everything looks rosy and optimistic at the beginning. Oh, of course it's going to make tens of thousands of dollars. Of course. But then when there's challenges, which there inevitably are challenges in every single one of them, you have to deal with all the challenges. And if you've got 10 baby businesses out there, all making $100,000 each, you're going to have 10 problems that are about the same. And so just because I could do them, should I? And the second thing about do the right thing is some things just matter infinitely more than others. And it's about finding what matters the most. If you can be precise, this is what matters most. This is what matters. This is what matters. Some things will just matter more than others. And, that's the 80-20 principle, or, the 4% rule, which I've discussed in other videos. It's finding those one things, and to know, okay, this is going to matter. So, for example, if you want to be rich, what matters more than anything is compounding interest. Like more than anything is to make more than you spend and put it into a system that will start to compound. Even if you can only put $10,000 away a year, you'll be happily retired on tons of money by the end of your life. Like more even well before then. The compound is insane. Remember the law of 72 says you divide any percentage rate into 72, and it gives you how long until it doubles. So 10% doubles every 7.2 years. So if you can put money into something that doubles every 7.2 years, it's going to. Anyway, what I was saying, I don't know why I got caught up on compound there. The point is that some things make more of a difference than others. For example, in sales, the thing that matters the most is be talking to the right person. I know that sounds crazy, but talk to the right person. That's what matters the most. Qualifying matters more than anything. Doesn't matter about any fancy sales technique if the person doesn't want what you're buying. That's what matters most. So the point is, we can spend a lot of time doing all the things that don't matter, or we can find the thing that matters and knock that out the park. Okay? Talking about knocking out the park. Number 8, don't try to hit a home run. Now, this was going to be written, don't try to hit a 6, because in New Zealand, I grew up playing cricket more than I did playing baseball. Either way, it's still the same metaphor, is most people try to hit it out the park. Instead, if you just hit singles, right? If you just hit and run to the first base, and then the next person hits and runs to the first base, it's far safer, you're not going to swing and miss as much, and it's more predictable. If you try to hit home runs, which I did at the beginning, I tried to, go all in on things, is sometimes you're going to miss, and those misses hurt a lot. I've got a buddy of mine, we're not really that much buddies anymore, but we were for a while, we're in business together, and he always wanted to hit home runs. Like everything was like all freaking in, everywhere, red line. And I was too, about 10 years ago, I was like that. I was home run oriented. And then I had a big awakening. A friend of mine was killed in a motorcycle crash. And because I was hitting home runs, all of a sudden I had nothing left. I wasn't hitting singles. And so hit the singles. Singles add up. You don't need to hit home runs. If you just make $1,000, if you increase $1,000 this week in your business, and that's all you do, and you increase $1,000 every week, by the end of the year you're on $52,000. You keep adding $1,000, by end of next year on $104. If you keep adding $1,000 of sales to your business, you're eventually going to get yourself into a really good place. Yeah, that's $1,000 a week, right? There's $150 a day. It's nothing. The sales are trivial, but most people don't. They're trying to make $50,000 in a week, and sometimes it wins, sometimes it doesn't. So hit singles. Number 9, it's brutal, but it's true. No one will care about your success. This one was tough. I mean, I went to the Olympics in business from a startup with receiving no money. I went to quote the Olympics. So I received no money, no funding, and I built 2 companies to, $20 million and sold one of them. And no one cares. So if you're in it thinking that you're going to get a parade or claps or you put in the newspaper or any sort of recognition, no one cares if you get really, really rich. It's a strange thing. You see, I saw someone in the newspaper the other day, look at this amazing single mom. She is amazing, like amazing single mom. She bought a house while on welfare, and everyone, she was on all these newspapers, everything. Look what she built. And I was like thinking to myself, I went to school with her. And instead of being, a person struggling and buying their first house, I've bought like millions of dollars worth of houses and I've done all these things, but no one likes that story. So no one's going to care about your success. And that's a really important thing to get. If you were like me and you were used to, achieving in sport or achieving in places and people go, wow, that's cool. They're going to care more about sport and music and poetry and all these other things that they care about. They won't care about your big money-making success. So you just need to realize it's going to be your own victory. And the last one that I wish I knew at the beginning was you are the only one responsible for your success. And this would be the last lesson. I guess these are 10 lessons that I would give my youngest, wish I could have given my younger self. You're the only one responsible for your success. I've had so many staff come in, have ideas, and those ideas be wrong, and me back their ideas, and then them be wrong, and then they just leave. They go to a new company. I've had mentors and advisors, I've paid masterminds, and the masterminds, they tell you all these fancy ideas and these things, and it feels really good, but they don't know your actual business. I've had coaches and consultants and friends. No one else is responsible for your success except you. And many times I've tried to be the dumbest in the room and realized that I am the dumbest in the room, but the rest of them aren't the one that has to hold the check at the end of the day. And so I remember about a year ago, I was seriously worried about some legal stuff with some things that a partner of mine was up to. And I thought to myself, I do not want to be involved in this. I know that I'm the one holding the responsibility here, even though that staff member is doing that. even though it's them, it's under my watch. And so, we rearranged that and stopped it, because I know I'm the one that's responsible. You are the only one that's responsible. So these are 10 things that I wish I wish I could go back in time 20 years and, to 2004 when I was starting out my business and share these. These wouldn't be the only 10. These are just 10 that occurred to me today. So number 1, don't take advice from someone who's not where you want to be. Number 2, people lie on job interviews. Number 3, choose your business model wisely. Number 4, cash solves most things in business. Number 5, there is no ending. Number 6, have patience and stay focused. Number 7, do the right things. Number 8, don't try to hit the home run. 9, no one will care about your success. 10, you're the only one responsible for your success. So if you're at the beginning of your career, I'd like you to take these 10 to the bank, and I hope that they helped. Bye for now.